Hi everyone, this is Live with Maria. I'm glad that everybody is doing well. I'm doing fine. It's very cold out here in Las Vegas today. So I'm here on my second part of Homeless Women. This time we're going to be talking about Erin, who's out on the street in Los Angeles, and she's been out on the street for 3 years. Luckily, she's on the waiting list for housing. Like I said, this is everything that happens out on the street, especially if you're trying to look for shelter. Everything is a process and everything is a waiting. It's a waiting process. Erin was very verbal this time on interview because she has been interviewed before by invisible people, and they dedicate themselves to interviewing people who are homeless. And so this particular lady has been interviewed almost 3 times already, and she's still out on the street. But she made very good points about women, and especially her having to fear for her life and not able to be warm at night or warm in the daytime when it gets really, really cold, and how hard it is for her to look for a spot for her to just lie down and, rest and, put up her tent. Usually she gets ticketed when she does so. So the cops usually harass her, and they come up to her and they just literally harass her. She also mentions how people look at her, and sometimes they look at her with disgust, and they really assume that because of the way that she looks, she actually wants to be out on the street, and that she deserves to be out on the street if, she's not doing anything about it. So many of the times she has resorted to going into homes that are empty homes and trying to just get warm. Given the fact that Erin spoke about her being raped. She was raped, and it was, I guess, by a group of, homeless, also homeless men. I don't know if they were homeless men. I can't say that, but I do know that she does mention that she was raped, and how hard it is for actually a woman to be out on the street. We all know that I have told you many times in my videos that I also was homeless, and that it's very difficult for a woman to be out there. Only that, thank goodness, I had my dog. She doesn't have anyone to protect her. So this is even why, like sex and drugs, she said that she was involved in drugs at one point because she felt like she couldn't hold her pain, and all that pain that she had, she just wanted to make it disappear. Careful with it. No, you don't mind. And be careful. Sorry about that. Anyway, so, it makes it difficult for a woman, especially if she has no kind of protection, no one to defend her, and, people just, especially men, come up to women and they want to harass them, even to the point where they know that the woman can't defend herself, and then, most of these women wind up really broken and, raped, and a lot of things happen out on the street that most people can't even imagine. If you're a woman, hopefully you can understand what that other woman is going through. Erin's story is very, very different because she did apply for housing, and as we know, housing is also a waiting list process. It's not like people think like, oh yeah, why don't you apply to housing? Maybe they can help you. Yeah, they can help you, but meanwhile, you're waiting like 3 years and you're waiting out on the street for 3 years. She did mention about Skid Row in Los Angeles, and she mentioned that for her, most women have very bad experiences in shelters. And so I've never been homeless in Los Angeles, but I'm assuming that it must be very, very rough in Los Angeles. If it's even more rough here, imagine those, like New York City and Los Angeles. She also mentioned how such a city that has so much money, and works, on money and the wealth, okay? And here is a state where there are so many homeless people, and she says, why not build which is a very good idea, why don't they build like a recreation area for homeless people, and they should also, and I heard this about small houses that are being actually built for homeless people. I think that's very good, and yes, we have an enormous amount of homeless people out there. But please realize that every situation is different and we don't know why they are homeless. She also mentioned about, trying to keep her sanity, and that many times she tried to commit suicide. And many of the times she tried to put up, like a smiling face to be strong each day and to make it, through the day, without having to feel pain of how people looked at her. People don't realize that when you see a homeless person, not every homeless person wants to be out there, out on the street. She also made a very other good point, which I agree with her. A lot of people don't realize that when you're homeless, you're actually sleeping on shit and pee, and I don't know how anyone could ever think that another human being wants to live like that out on the street. So even though we make harsh judgments on others as to why they're out on the street, take a good look around you, around the street, because it's a very, very harsh world out there. And Arien is a testament to that. Not all people who are out on the street are people who deserve to be out on the street. No one deserves to be out on the street. No one deserves, and I have that she, a lot of people assume that because you're homeless, you don't try to look for work. Well, guess what? Arien did and has worked. And I think that she has a license for something. I do believe that she was in the Coachella Festival, and I think she was a security guard there. We don't know, Coachella is a seasonal job. It's not a job that's, it's an employment, and it's a forever employment. Also, another thing that I have a lot of these employments don't pay an hour, like a high salary. They don't have like a high salary earnings. So you're earning like $100 and something, and she had to save up for, for the money that she was receiving. And that's what I'm saying. Like, most of the people like give money, you're saying, well, shit, they look at these people that have a bunch of money, but how do you expect them to get out of the streets? They have to save their money. Okay, the money that you give them, and I'm not saying that all homeless people do that. Some of them do take it for drugs. Some of them do take it for, for beer. But not all of them are like that. So, and how to you know, how to see who is the one that's real and really wants to make a change, and then which one is not real. I can't tell you that. I can only tell you by a personal experience of that I've been through it, you know, and that I wanted to get out on the streets and I had to make a difference in my life, and that I didn't want to be out there. I didn't want to be killed or, you know, be raped and or be offered drugs or sex. But this is what is out on the streets. And so Erin's situation is not like she's not trying to better her life. It's not like she's not trying to get out of the streets. She is. It's just that it takes a process. And I wish that people would realize that. Most of the people that pass by, like she says, look at her like in disgust, you know, like, I don't want you to get near me. You're dirty. You know, you don't look, you know, and this is a world of gold diggers. It's true. This is a world of material. This is a world of, if you don't look a certain way, people will not even take a look at you, not even for a second. You know, immediately they'll judge you based on the way you look, and it's such a shame. People go through that, you know, and the depression out on the street and the sanity that you have to keep. You really have to be really hardcore strong. And she says it, like, each day I have to get up and I have to put a face, like I have to smile and keep my sanity so that I don't lose it, because many of the times she wanted to end her life because people would look at her in a way that, you know, of sheer disgust, you know, and that perhaps maybe that is what she deserves, you know, and not looking at that she's a human being and she's going through a rut, yes, and a very rough moment in her life. So it wasn't the same as for the young lady who died at the age of 25, that, you know, by unfortunate circumstances, she was killed by a train, you know. This time, Erin, you know, I hope that you see this video. If you do, if you ever come across my YouTube channel, I hope that my message to Los Angeles and the whatever the county, or, you know, the HUDs, and, you know, the homeless, you know, all the people that can make it happen for you to get an apartment, that can make it happen for you to get a job. I hope that this video makes a difference and that it actually helps you out and many others that are homeless, you know, because like I said yesterday in my segment 1 talk about homeless women, is that it's very hard for a homeless woman to be out on the street and to keep herself up. She puts on her makeup, she puts on clean clothes, she does her hair, and she looks very pretty, by the way. Erin is a very beautiful woman. But unfortunately, the man that was interviewing her said, I have to see you again the third time out here. And he wanted to, you know, catch up on what, you know. Shh. Hey. Quiet. Dang, good boys. Use your invoice. Good boys. I'm not going to cut the video just because my dogs are barking, because I want to continue to say that, you know, it's hard. It's really hard for things to happen. And then he had to come back and see her again. And this time she was very verbal about it. Very verbal. And I'm glad that he came back to her, and I'm glad that maybe he can help her out by showing her video. You know, hopefully you people who are out there, you know, viewers, my viewers, whatever viewer passes by this video, please, if you live in the Los Angeles area and you hear about Erin's story on YouTube, if you're somebody who can really help out, on her situation. Remember, there are other Ariens out there. There are other 26 or 25-year-olds, youths out there that need help, that need a home, that need clothes, that need, you know, a personal toiletries. You know what I mean? Like those things, hats, gloves, you know. I can't go out because right now I wish that I can do my interview out there in Las Vegas, which we have a plenty of homeless women out here as well. I wanted to keep up with the guests that I had last year in April when I was working with social media shows. But unfortunately, I can't do it now. But I am going to do it in the future. So I know that I keep on saying things, but things do happen. And right now, like I said, sometimes we are not prepared to do things because other things arise. But I just wanted everyone to take a good look at this video, and, you know, make a comment in the bottom, or take a look at the YouTube channel that I'm about to download, and please help the homeless people. Regardless if you think that that person is deserving of being out on the street and they look kind of dirty to you, please don't make harsh, you know, judgments. And again, this is the second part of homeless women. Like I said, maybe you can go out with friends and feed these people. I don't know, but please don't pass them by and just assume that they are deserving to be treated the way that you think, because they're not. No one deserves to be treated like garbage. No one deserves to be treated like they're not worth anything, because we are all worth something. We are here for a purpose. We are here to help one another. So I hope that everybody sees this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you have a strong opinion about what I had to say, I would like to hear your comments about this segments that I'm broadcasting. I hope that everyone has a great day. Stay safe and stay warm. Bye-bye.